Okay, so Saturday morning, welcome back. I've got a bonus day in the workshop because we were supposed to be going out today and now we're not. So I've told everyone we're going out, so hopefully I shall have an interruption-free day. There's a couple of things I want to do. We're going to go out for lunch tomorrow and we're going out for a little run in the Napier, so I'm just going to finish greasing up the steering and maybe give it a bit of a polish. And then, but the bonus for me today is that for the first time this year, I'm going to get to have a look at the Brabham. So we'll get this done and then I can crack on with the Brabham. So what we're doing is we are greasing the steering, and to do that, basically you take these little cups off. See that? Fill them with grease. And just screw it back in. You see that the grease is just starting to come out of the kingpin there. So you got that one, then you got the one at the top. You just unscrew it. Fill the cup up with grease because it's actually empty. And then we screw it down and on this we'll only probably do it a few screws just so we see the grease coming out. It'll be coming out about here. There's some just coming out of there now. And then what we'll do is we'll leave that in there, so the idea is then when we're on a long journey or I'm on the event in the morning, I can just screw them down a little bit more. So so that's it. That's for the steering. Okay, so we're just going to clean the nickel and the bonnet. Just give it a bit of a clean. I shall give the rest of the car a polish tomorrow before we go out, but. So I'm using the old auto sole. Looks like I need another pot of this because I've only got the bits in the bottom. And I'm only using the brush just to get it out the bottom. So polishing is not my favourite. As you can probably see from the state of most of my cars, polishing is not my favourite occupation, but it's sometimes what you have to do it sometimes, don't you? So my Model T is the first of the black radiator cars, and the beauty of that is there's not any shiny bits on it. So dodged a bullet on that. Right. So I've run out of auto sol now, so that's going to have to do. So that's a bit of a shame. I've just had to get on with the Brabham now. Okay, so here we are at last. Come in. Like I said, this is I haven't actually touched this car much since Dijon last year, so that's, what's that? That's 6 months ago, almost, end of October. Maybe not, five and a bit months. And all I did was I took the bodywork off when I got here, took the bodywork off, sprayed it in WD-40 and then left it. And then because I had my shoulder operation, I've been putting it off because I'm not actually going to be racing until May, the end of May. But that's actually fast approaching. So when I last used the car, it was absolutely spot on. So there's not much, there's nothing wrong with it. It didn't go away with any issues. So, but what I do want to do is, well, I say all bar one, the sump, the engine sump is leaking, the gasket. So I think today what we're going to do is, first job is to try and get the sump off, and it also gives me an opportunity to have a look inside the engine from underneath. And so yeah, let's get the sump off and have a little look and see if we can replace the gasket, and then we'll start cleaning it up. Maybe by the end of the day we can get it started and I can check the engine. Yeah, let's have a go. Okay, so I've got it on this stand, which this stand I built when I was building the car. Ideally it'd be much better on the ramp here, but we've still got the Cadillac engines with sort of like getting built, so they're sort of like in the way, but I pushed them to the back here, and in actual fact we've got quite a bit of space here, so, and it is up high enough on there that I can actually get the sump off. So yeah, let's drain that oil. So there's quite a bit of oil coming out of there. So I think what we'll do is we'll let that drain, and then we can take the sump off and have a little look. I'll show you this other side, which is where I think it's leaking from. It's here, all in here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Move it down here like that. All on that edge there. It's just oily, and I think that's where it is. And of course we're canted over, so that's where the oil would come out, this side.
Brooklands in 1933, but these low Aston Martins, of course, Bertelli at the time, who was involved with the team, decided green was unlucky, so British Racing Green was dispensed with Italian red, and they still look great in it today.
They do. Nice to see Chloe behind the wheel. Going to catch a little bit of a replay. So on the number 12, the save, just going across the grass. That was a great save from Lee Sung.
Because they come over the line, but it's all looking very, very exciting.
Well, we're here in the IWC VIP area. We've got a great view of the action here right at the chicane. And we were Kerry Conlon. Kerry, what do you think's going on there? It looks like Dams is having some fun.
Yeah, he's always having fun. We were really encouraged, thank you. We were really encouraged on the movie to have fun, even though it was a lot of pressure and
Because there's not just the driver and the Ukraine and all that sort of thing. There's cameras mounted on the cars. So there's so many different elements that we're working with. So the planning is in the execution. And then if you're lucky, you get quite a few rehearsal days. And so work it all out and get it all done.
Okay, so that's the sump out. Just clean this mess up, and then we'll have a look at the engine, just make sure we think that's okay, and then we'll clean all the bottom of the engine up and put the sump back on. Okay, so let's have a little look at this, shall we? That's the bottom of the engine. I think it's been leaking along this edge here. this edge here, I think it's been leaking. That's where it's been leaking along there. Okay, so I'm not quite sure if you can see that. That's as I fetch the gasket off, and there's just oil that side of the gasket. It can slip straight off. So I think that's where the oil was leaking through. So yep, let's finish getting cleaned up, and then we'll have a look at how we put it back together. Okay, so this is the sump. It's all cleaned up, and then I've been round along all the holes, and a couple of them are sort of like that one there is slightly stiff and proud. Can you see that sort of like rocking? And I think what's happened is because it's been leaking. Because it's been leaking, I've sort of like tightened the bolt up too much, and it's sort of like pushed through the gasket. And so it doesn't matter how much you tighten up, then it won't clamp it anymore. So I've got a hammer and dolly here, so I'm just going to just see if I can flatten that bolt hole down a little bit. Just a bit more. Yeah, so that's not rocking now. So hopefully, and it was along this edge here that it wasn't sealing, so I'm guessing that's what partly the problem was. Okay, so now that's all flat now, so that's giving us half a chance. This is the gasket I'm going to use. It's from Burton. It's like a cardboard type paper gasket, and I'm going to use Hylamar Blue on it just to give it a bit of a chance. Some people just use grease. I think that's what I used in the past, but I think what I really need to do is just make sure belt and braces this time. So I got a few of these. So these little universal sockets are Imperial ones. And I find them quite useful for jobs like this. They're not readily available, and I think I got these from the States, obviously in Imperial size. But I used the reason I got one was 1/2 inch one is quite useful for putting the universal joint on an MGB. So there we go, what a fantastic day. It was a bit of a bonus, like I said, it's a bit of a bonus being out here today. Obviously didn't get as much done as I thought I was going to, but then I never really do because I always set the bar so high on what I want to achieve. Getting the sump back on was a little bit of a struggle. Probably not helped because I haven't got full movement with the shoulder, but the shoulder's getting so much better, and I don't think I would have been able to do it like a week ago. So it's so good to be back out in the workshop, and it's so good to be back out working on this car, and I can't wait to get back on track again. So but this next week I'm going on a track day in the Caterham. I'm going to Snetterton, so I'm just going to go and have a little gentle drive round and see how we get on track, just to sort of ease myself in, if you like. Tomorrow we're going to go for a lunch out in Napier with a local car club. So that's going to be a bit of fun. And yeah, it's just good to be back out doing stuff with cars again. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and leave any comments below, because I love reading the comments. And remember, how hard can it be?